Hey everybody, and welcome to our third how-to video. Today, I'm excited to talk to you about how to have a positive relationship with your regulators. So let's get started. Before we even talk about the how though, let's talk about why it's important to have a great relationship with your regulators. So a good relationship means there is open dialogue, and dialogue is a two-way street. So the first thing is that by having an open dialogue with your regulators, you as an organization, as a compliance officer, get to have a better understanding on the direction that the regulator is taking, things like policy decisions, their focus areas and priorities from a regulatory perspective. Those are all things that you will have more insight into and understanding of. And that information will feed into your compliance program, your priorities, what the business focus needs to be in terms of implementation, remediation, all of that sort of thing. So open dialogue with the regulator means that you have facilitated information reception on your end. Secondly, if you have a good relationship with your regulators, it means that dialogue that you have allows them to better understand the organization, the risk profile of the organization, the different products and operations within the organization. How is the management structure? Who makes up the management of the business? All of those things allow the regulators to have a firm understanding of your business so that when you have to engage in the future, they're not coming in completely cold and completely blind and having to start from zero in terms of understanding the business. So this is something that you communicate with them on an ongoing basis. I am by no means suggesting that you call the regulator every day and have a fat chat or contact them and offer them inappropriate things. This is not at all what I'm talking about. This is just in terms of engaging with them when it's appropriate in the normal course of business and ensuring that you have that open dialogue. So now that we've established the why, let's talk about how. So in terms of how to have the relationship, it's about ongoing communication. Think about any relationship. Boyfriend and girlfriend, best friends, whatever it is. You don't just communicate when something happens, or once a month, once a quarter, and then the rest of the time it's radio silence. Although, like I said, I'm not talking about bugging the regulator all the time. What you do though, is make sure that you are communicating on a regular basis. Now, you can do this with the regulator by doing things such as participating in industry forums where they are present. Make sure that you're attending, make sure that your voice is heard, and you're engaging with them in those type of instances. You can also do this by, if you have any lack of clarity on a particular provision or requirement or anything like that, pick up the phone and have a conversation, get understanding, get to know who is the person to talk to about what in the regulatory space, and then make sure that you're engaging in that respect. Another way that you can engage with regulators is to participate when it comes to regulatory change. If the regulator calls for opinions, there's a consultation period that has been opened, participate, get the views of the business on a regulatory change and the potential impact. Give your feedback in terms of how you think that the regulation can perhaps be improved or changed slightly to make sure that the regulatory objective is being met, but it is not something that is unrealistic or overly onerous on the business or the industry. So that's a great opportunity for you to engage with regulators, let your voice and opinions be heard. They may or may not take your feedback. It depends. That's a decision for them to make, but it's a great opportunity for you to engage with them, talk to them, give your views, and potentially influence the outcome of regulations that apply to your business. And then secondly, thirdly, when you have exams and inspections happening, everyone gets that letter saying, we're advising you that a regulatory inspection is taking place on such and such a date over such and such a period. And sometimes that causes a lot of alarm and stress for people. But when you get that letter, remember, this is an opportunity for you to show the regulator how your compliance program is working, how your risks are being managed, and the relationship between the business and compliance, and how together you're working towards effectively managing risk. So don't come at it from the perspective of, oh my God, we've got something to hide, because hopefully that is not the case. Come at it as this is an opportunity for us to showcase what we've done from a risk management perspective, and where there's areas for improvement, we can talk to how we are putting in steps to manage that better. And be sure to adequately prepare your business for these regulatory inspections as well, because you want them to approach it with the mindset of, we can get through this. It's just them doing what they're doing, because we all know regulators have to do inspections as part of their mandate. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's a big bad monster in the room. Let us tell them more about our business and ourselves and our risk management and our governance, whatever it is, so that they can be comfortable with how we are operating as a business. So again, regulatory examinations are a perfect opportunity, more one-on-one than potentially industry forums and inputting to regulatory change, to inform and educate your regulators about the business and its risk management framework. And then last but not least, you may be unfortunate enough to be faced with an investigation. And if there is an investigation, it typically means that something either bad has happened or there's a suspicion that something bad has happened. So the regulators coming in that sort of investigative hat-on mindset. Your role is to be open and honest and cooperative with the regulator and advise the business to do the same. Because being evasive, trying to hide things, not submitting information, it's not a good look for anybody. And all that work that you have done to create this positive relationship and advise them about your business and the risk management profile, if you just hear the word investigation and start becoming invasive or evasive, all of that gets undone. So the point is to have a cooperative relationship with the regulators, whether it's happy days and sunshine and BAU interactions, or you're faced with an examination or investigation. And all of that will show the regulator that you are a business, a compliance function that cooperates with them, is committed to risk management and open and honesty, even when bad things have happened, and that you are an entity that shouldn't be looked down upon, frowned upon, or worried about necessarily, because of all the hard work that you have done to establish a positive relationship with your regulator. So I hope these few tips on how to have a positive relationship with your regulators has been helpful. I hope you can find a way to implement them where you haven't necessarily done certain things. And if you have a few suggestions of your own in terms of other areas that can facilitate a positive relationship with your regulators, then please pop them in the comments. I would love to hear from them. But in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification button as well, and be sure to be the first to know next time I upload a video, because as I say all the time, lots of videos coming, how-tos, our compliance conversation series, and everything around that. And if you want more information about regulatory change management, we have an amazing course at KC Compliance Learning about regulatory change management in banking and financial services. And we also touch on how to engage with your regulators in that course. So the link will be in the description. You can click on that and go to the learning platform and learn a lot more about regulatory engagement and regulatory change management. But until then, until the next video, thanks for watching. Bye.